The Galactic Empire conquered Earth in 11 hours. By sunset, the blue planet that had resisted every ultimatum was under Imperial control. The first wave appeared above the atmosphere at 6:13. Thousands of black warships emerged from hyperspace, blotting out the stars. Their enormous hulls reflected the light of the rising sun as Imperial cruisers formed a perfect ring around Earth. Humanity looked up. And waited. Admiral Cale Vorn expected panic. Instead, something felt wrong. There were no desperate orbital maneuvers. No massive human fleet charging into battle. Earth's defense satellites fired only a handful of missiles before going completely silent. The Imperial flagship's bridge erupted in laughter. "They're surrendering," one officer said. Vorn didn't smile. "Why?" No one answered. Below them, Earth cities prepared for occupation. Emergency broadcasts appeared across every screen. "Do not resist. Do not attack Imperial forces. Remain indoors." The orders came from every major government simultaneously. To the Empire, it looked like fear. To the humans watching from underground command centers, it was something else. Dr. Elena Ward stood in a dark bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, staring at a countdown displayed across the main screen. 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Around her, dozens of engineers watched in silence. A young officer finally asked, "Doctor, should we tell the surface commanders?" Elena shook her head. "No. But the Empire is landing." "I know. They're taking Washington, London, Beijing." "I know." The officer looked at the countdown. "What happens when it reaches 0? Elena's expression hardened. "Something that hasn't awakened in 400,000 years." Above them, Imperial landing ships descended through Earth's atmosphere. Cities fell one after another. The Empire captured communication centers, military bases, energy stations, and government buildings. By 1700 hours, the invasion was essentially over. Commander Vorn stepped onto the surface of Earth for the first time. His boots touched human soil. Behind him, Imperial soldiers raised the Empire's banner. Vorn looked toward the horizon. Humanity is finished. Then the ground beneath his feet trembled. Barely noticeable. Just once. Vorn stopped. Another vibration followed. Then another. Across Earth, millions of Imperial sensors began reporting the same impossible anomaly. Something enormous was moving beneath the planet. Deep beneath the crust. Far deeper than any human mind had ever reached. Elena watched the countdown disappear. Midnight. Every light in the bunker went out. For 3 seconds, there was absolute darkness. Then a voice emerged from the speakers. Ancient. Calm. And unmistakably alive. Human civilization detected. Elena slowly looked up. The voice continued. Threat level, extinction. Outside, the Imperial fleet suddenly lost power. And beneath Earth's surface, something opened its eyes. For exactly 7 seconds, the entire Imperial fleet above Earth was blind. No engines. No weapons. No communication. No navigation. Just silence. Then the lights returned. Commander Cale Vorn immediately demanded a systems report. Every officer on the bridge stared at their consoles. "Sir, something is wrong." Vorn stepped forward. "How many ships lost power?" The officer swallowed. "All of them." Vorn looked through the bridge window. Thousands of Imperial warships hung motionless above Earth. For the first time since the invasion began, the Empire was no longer in control. Then every screen aboard the flagship displayed the same symbol. A circle surrounded by 3 vertical lines. The Imperial computers had no record of it. Vorn ordered his scientists to identify it. They couldn't. Because the symbol wasn't being transmitted from Earth. It was being generated by the ships themselves. Below them, the planet began to glow. Not with fire. With light. Thin blue lines appeared across continents, stretching through mountains, deserts, and oceans. From orbit, Earth suddenly looked like a gigantic machine. Dr. Elena Ward watched the display inside the underground bunker. Her hands trembled. She had spent 20 years searching for proof that the legends were real. Now the proof was beneath her feet. "How old is the structure?" someone asked. Elena stared at the readings. "We don't know." The computer calculated again. Then gave an impossible result. Estimated construction age, 412,000 years. The room went silent. Human civilization was barely a fraction of that age. Elena whispered, "Who built it?" Aegis answered. Your ancestors. Every person in the bunker froze. Elena slowly turned toward the speaker. That's impossible. Correction. Your ancestors were not its creators. The lights flickered. They were its survivors. Suddenly, a map appeared. Earth was only one point among hundreds. Across the galaxy, dozens of planets began glowing with the same blue symbol. Elena's blood ran cold. The underground system wasn't an Earth defense network. It was part of something much larger. A galactic network. Meanwhile, Imperial troops began drilling toward the strange energy source beneath the surface. Vorn ordered them to continue. His scientists warned him that the structure might be dangerous. He ignored them. If the humans found it, the Empire will own it. The drill reached the outer shell. The moment it touched the ancient metal, every machine on Earth stopped. Then the ground split open beneath the Imperial soldiers. Something enormous rose from the darkness. It wasn't a building. It wasn't a weapon. It was a ship. A ship so massive that its upper hull pierced through the Earth's crust. Vorn stared at it from orbit. For the first time, the Imperial commander felt genuine fear. Then the ancient vessel activated its engines. And Earth's moon began moving. The moon moved 3,000 kilometers in 12 seconds. Every observatory in the solar system detected it. Imperial commanders stared at their screens, unable to understand what they were seeing. The moon wasn't being destroyed. It was being pulled. Something beneath Earth had connected to it. Commander Kale Vorn watched the ancient vessel rising from the planet's surface. Its hull was larger than an Imperial dreadnought. Then another section emerged. And another. The vessel wasn't coming out of a hangar. It was coming out of the planet itself. Vorn ordered his fleet to fire. Thousands of weapons launched simultaneously. The ancient ship didn't dodge. The weapons simply stopped. Missiles froze in space. Energy beams bent around the vessel. Even gravity seemed to obey it. Then every Imperial ship received a transmission. No language. No code. Just 3 words. Earth remembers you. Vorn's face went pale. Destroy it. The Imperial fleet fired everything. The solar system became a storm of fire. But when the smoke disappeared, the ancient ship was still there. Untouched. Inside the bunker, Dr. Elena Ward stood before Aegis. Why isn't it attacking? The AI remained silent. Answer me. Finally, it spoke. Because this vessel is not a weapon. Elena looked toward the massive holographic image. Then what is it? A key. The chamber shook. A hidden section of the underground facility opened. Behind it was a gigantic circular door. Symbols covered its surface. Elena recognized one immediately. It was the same symbol that had appeared on the Imperial ships. She stepped closer. What does it unlock? Aegis answered. The memory of humanity. The door opened. Inside was a chamber filled with thousands of transparent capsules. Each contained a human figure. Men. Women. Children. All perfectly preserved. Elena stared in disbelief. Who are they? Aegis displayed a message. The original colony. Elena's breathing stopped. Human history had always claimed that humanity evolved naturally on Earth. That story was wrong. Humanity had arrived. And someone had deliberately erased the memory. Before Elena could process it, every capsule opened. Thousands of ancient humans woke simultaneously. Their eyes opened. Their first words were not questions. They all spoke together. How long has the enemy been here? Elena looked at the screens. Above Earth, the Imperial fleet was preparing another attack. She answered quietly. One day. The ancient humans exchanged looks. Then one of them smiled. Then they haven't learned what humans became. At that exact moment, every dormant guardian world across the galaxy activated. And the Imperial Emperor received a message from Earth. It contained only one sentence. You conquered our planet. A pause followed. Then another line appeared. You never conquered its people. The Emperor read the message 3 times. He still couldn't believe it. Earth had fallen. Its governments had surrendered. Its military bases were occupied. Yet someone on that planet was claiming the Empire had never truly won. The Emperor ordered every Imperial ship around Earth to activate its weapons. Then the ancient humans appeared on the battlefield. Not thousands. Millions. Across Earth's hidden cities, sealed chambers opened. Ancient soldiers stepped into the light, wearing armor unlike anything the Empire possessed. But they weren't the ones who frightened Commander Vorn. It was the humans standing beside them. Modern humans. Scientists. Engineers. Soldiers. Doctors. Civilians. They weren't separated anymore. They were working together. Dr. Elena Ward entered the central command chamber. An ancient woman approached her. Her name was Mara. She had been asleep for more than 400,000 years. Mara looked at Elena for several seconds. Then she asked, "Did humanity survive?" Elena nodded. "Against everything." "Against everything." Mara smiled. "Then the mission succeeded." Elena frowned. "What mission?" Mara pointed toward the holographic galaxy. "The Empire." The room became silent. Mara explained that the first human civilization had discovered a terrifying truth long before modern humanity existed. A civilization somewhere in the galaxy was systematically conquering younger species. They called themselves the Galactic Empire. The first humans knew they could never defeat it directly. So they created the Guardian Network. They scattered human colonies across distant worlds. They erased their memories. They buried their technology. Then they waited. Humanity was never abandoned. It had been hidden. And Earth wasn't the headquarters. It was the trigger. The moment an outside power conquered Earth, the entire Guardian Network would awaken. Above the planet, blue portals suddenly opened. 1. 10. 100. Then thousands. Ships emerged from them. Some were ancient. Others were completely unfamiliar. Commander Vorn stared at the growing fleet. How many ships? His officer couldn't answer. The number kept increasing. Then the sensors detected something even worse. The ships weren't all human. They belonged to civilizations the Empire had conquered centuries earlier. Species that had been waiting for the Guardian Network to activate. The Empire had unknowingly gathered its own enemies in one place. Vorn finally understood. Earth hadn't been defended because humanity believed it could win. Earth had been surrendered because humanity wanted the Empire trapped. Then the largest portal opened. Something enormous moved through it. A ship larger than Earth's moon. Its weapons remained silent. It simply appeared behind the Imperial fleet. A message entered every Imperial channel. "This is the last warning." Vorn looked at Earth. For the first time, he realized the invasion had never been a victory. It had been a trap. And the Empire had walked into it willingly. Commander Vorn had one question left. How many worlds have awakened? His officer stared at the sensor display. "Sir, we stopped counting." Across the galaxy, ancient Guardian systems were coming online. On planets the Empire had conquered centuries ago, mountains opened. Under oceans, buried cities awakened. Desert floors split apart as enormous vessels rose from beneath the sand. The Empire's greatest secret had become its greatest weakness. Every conquered world had been carrying a piece of the same defense network. And Earth had just activated all of it. Inside the underground command center, Dr. Elena Ward watched thousands of signals appear across the galaxy. Mara stood beside her. "The Guardian Network was never designed to destroy the Empire," Mara said. Elena turned toward her. "Then what was it designed to do?" Mara looked at the galaxy map. "To give every species a chance to choose its own future." Before Elena could respond, the entire chamber shook. A warning appeared. Imperial superweapon detected. Vorn had received new orders from the Emperor. The Empire's ultimate weapon had arrived. It was called the World Breaker. A colossal station emerged from hyperspace beyond Earth's orbit. It was so enormous that its outer structure stretched farther than Earth's diameter. Its central cannon began charging. Elena stared at the readings. "How long?" Aegis answered. 4 minutes. The room fell silent. Mara looked at Elena. "Can the Guardian Network stop it?" Elena shook her head. "Not in time." For the first time, Mara looked afraid. Then Elena noticed something on the ancient command display. A tiny symbol. It wasn't part of the Guardian Network. It had been added recently. By humans. Elena suddenly understood. The first humans had created the system. But modern humanity had quietly improved it. "Wait," she whispered. Mara looked at her. "What?" "We don't need to stop the World Breaker." Elena smiled. "We need to make it fire." Mara's eyes widened. Elena activated the human modification. Across the galaxy, thousands of Guardian ships changed formation. They weren't preparing for defense. They were building a massive gravitational corridor. The World Breaker fired. A beam of unimaginable energy crossed space toward Earth. For one terrifying second, it looked unstoppable. Then the Guardian network bent space itself. The beam curved. It passed Earth. And entered the gravitational corridor. The World Breaker's own weapon began feeding directly into the network. The Imperial station suddenly overloaded. Vorn screamed for the weapon to shut down. It was already too late. The energy traveled backward through the corridor. Not toward Earth. Toward the Imperial capital. Every Guardian world watched the same impossible event. The Empire's ultimate weapon had become a signal. And somewhere in the darkness beyond the galaxy, something answered. For 6 seconds, nothing happened. Then every star on the Imperial command network disappeared. Not physically. From the screens. One by one, the Empire's communication satellites went dark. Commander Vorn stared at the tactical display. What answered? No officer knew. The signal generated by the Worldbreaker's failed attack had traveled far beyond Imperial space. It had reached something ancient. Something the first humans had feared enough to hide from. Dr. Elena Ward watched the same signal appear on Aegis. For the first time since its awakening, the ancient AI sounded uncertain. Unknown entity detected. Elena stepped closer. You know what it is. A pause. I know what it did. The underground chamber became silent. Mara asked, what did it do? Aegis displayed an ancient recording. A fleet of human ships. Millions of them. Running from something invisible. Behind them, entire star systems were disappearing. Then the recording ended. Elena's face tightened. The first humans weren't hiding from the Empire. Mara slowly understood. They were hiding from something worse. Above Earth, the Guardian fleet suddenly stopped advancing. Even the Imperial ships stopped firing. Space itself had begun to distort. A massive black structure appeared beyond the edge of the solar system. It had no engines. No visible weapons. No known technology. It simply existed. Then another appeared. And another. Thousands of identical structures surrounded the galaxy. The Imperial Emperor finally understood what was happening. His empire had not been the greatest power in the galaxy. It had merely been the loudest. The true enemy had been watching from outside known space. The ancient Guardian network had been designed to prevent its return. And the Empire had just activated the beacon that called it back. Aegis spoke again. The veil has been breached. Elena looked at Mara. What happens now? Mara's expression was grim. The first civilization believed they could defeat it. And they couldn't. The sky above Earth suddenly turned black. Not because of darkness. Because millions of alien structures had appeared between the planet and the stars. Every Imperial ship received the same message. Not from the Empire. Not from humanity. From the unknown fleet. Return the world. Vorn stared at the message. What world? The answer came immediately. Earth. The entire Imperial fleet went silent. Elena looked toward the ancient command chamber. Aegis began powering up. The massive underground structure beneath Earth started moving. Mountains shifted. Oceans rose. And deep beneath the planet, something even larger than the ancient fleet began awakening. Elena whispered. What have we been protecting? Aegis answered. Not Earth. The planet shook violently. Earth has been protecting us. Then the surface of the planet split open. And the real human weapon finally began to rise. The first thing to emerge from Earth was not a ship. It was a hand. A gigantic metallic hand pushed through the Pacific Ocean, lifting millions of tons of water into the sky. Imperial sensors went insane. Commander Vorn stared at the impossible image. What is that? No one answered. The ocean began to rise. Then the rest of the structure emerged. It was not a vessel. It was a humanoid machine larger than Earth itself. Its armor was covered with ancient symbols. Its eyes remained dark. For a moment, the entire galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Then Dr. Elena Ward heard Aegis speak. Guardian Prime has awakened. Elena stared at the planetary scale machine. You built that? Aegis replied. No. Then who did? Aegis paused. Humanity did. Elena's eyes widened. Mara stepped forward. Impossible. Our ancestors never possessed technology like this. Aegis corrected her. Your ancestors did not build it. The AI displayed a new message. Your future did. Elena froze. The machine wasn't ancient. Its outer shell was. Its core was something else. Humanity had unknowingly been developing the missing technology for centuries. Every failed experiment. Every abandoned propulsion system. Every strange gravitational discovery. Every scientific breakthrough that seemed useless had been pieces of the same design. The ancient network had been waiting for modern humanity to complete it. Then Guardian Prime opened its eyes. Two enormous blue lights appeared above Earth. The unknown fleet attacked. Millions of beams crossed the solar system. Guardian Prime raised one arm. The attack stopped. Not blocked. Stopped. Time itself appeared to freeze around the machine. Elena whispered, "What is it?" Aegis answered. "The final human decision." Guardian Prime moved. It didn't travel through space. Space moved around it. In an instant, it appeared before the enemy fleet. One movement. One pulse. Millions of alien structures vanished. But Guardian Prime didn't destroy their worlds. Instead, every enemy ship was surrounded by a transparent field. Their weapons shut down. Their engines died. Their crews remained alive. Vorn watched in disbelief. Why aren't they killing them? Elena answered quietly. Because that's the difference. The Empire had always believed power meant destruction. Humanity had discovered something else. Power meant having the ability to destroy. And choosing not to. Then the unknown fleet's largest structure opened. Something stepped out. A creature older than the Empire. Older than humanity's recorded history. It looked directly at Earth. And for the first time, Guardian Prime spoke. Its voice shook every planet in the galaxy. You came back. The creature smiled. And you finally woke up. Then it raised its hand. The stars began disappearing. The stars disappeared one by one. Not because they were destroyed. Because the ancient enemy was pulling them into darkness. Across the galaxy, entire civilizations watched their skies go black. The creature beyond the stars raised its hand again. Guardian Prime stood between it and Earth. For the first time, the planetary machine moved backward. Elena felt her heart sink. Why is it retreating? Aegis answered. Because it has recognized the enemy. The creature spoke through every communication system in the galaxy. Humanity survived once because it hid. Its voice shook entire planets. This time, hiding will not save you. Guardian Prime's eyes burned brighter. Elena looked at the tactical display. The ancient Guardian network was losing worlds. One after another, planets disappeared from the map. Mara looked at Elena. We can't defeat that thing. Elena stared at the network. Then she noticed something. The enemy wasn't destroying the Guardian worlds. It was disconnecting them. The ancient network depended on isolation. That was its weakness. Elena suddenly understood. The first humans fought alone. Mara looked at her. And lost. Elena activated every communication channel. Her voice reached Earth, the former Imperial worlds, and every surviving civilization. We've been trying to use the Guardian network the way our ancestors designed it. She looked at the approaching darkness. But humanity has never survived by doing exactly what someone else designed. She sent one final command. Connect everything. Across the galaxy, civilizations responded. Human ships linked their systems with alien fleets. Former enemies shared navigation data. Scientists from dozens of worlds synchronized their computers. The Guardian network transformed. It was no longer a defense system. It became a single galactic intelligence. The enemy attacked. The combined network absorbed the impact. Guardian Prime moved forward. This time, it wasn't alone. Thousands of alien fleets followed. Then millions. The darkness broke. Stars returned. The ancient creature finally understood. Humanity had not defeated it with a stronger weapon. Humanity had done something the first civilization had never attempted. It had united the galaxy. Guardian Prime reached the creature. Instead of destroying it, the machine opened its hand. A beam of light surrounded the ancient entity. Its power vanished. Its army disappeared. And the darkness collapsed. Silence returned. Months later, the Galactic Empire no longer existed. Its conquered worlds became independent. Former enemies rebuilt together. And Earth became the meeting place of the new Galactic Alliance. Years later, children asked Dr. Elena Ward why humanity had hidden the truth about Earth. She looked toward the stars. Because we weren't ready. Ready for what? Elena smiled. Not to conquer the galaxy. She pointed toward the countless worlds beyond them. To protect it. Far beneath Earth's surface, Guardian Prime remained awake. Waiting. Not for another enemy. But for the day humanity might need it again. And the galaxy finally understood the truth the Empire had learned too late. Earth was never the weakest world in the galaxy. It was the world that had been waiting for everyone else to become strong enough to stand beside it.